Hey there all, hope you're doing well today. So we are going to the witch farm, and as you see it is very dark in here. Another tunnel, well, originally I was having torches in here, but what I'm thinking of doing is putting jack-o'-lanterns in the roof here, probably every 3 or 5 blocks. The only annoying thing is that jack-o'-lanterns have to have a block underneath them to be placed, so it's going to be very tedious to do it, but I think it'll be a nicer look. And I was hoping that I would be able to use trapdoors to like cover them. I think spruce trapdoors would probably be the best bet as far as just coverage. But right now, trapdoors can't be used in that way yet. So I'll have to wait to use them later. But I think that is going to really help. Not only will I not have to spam torches, but it'll just look better. And also, once I start getting a few more things, I'm going to put rails. Now, I can start putting just regular rails, but I really want to have powered rails more often than not, for the simple fact of just they're powered rails, so they help you go fast. So I'm going to have to do a gold farm, probably 1.5, 1.6, and work on that. Because I definitely need a renewable source of gold. And then we can have powered rails going all the way down here, which will help immensely. Especially for the much later travels that we have. Now the other option is using ice later on, because packed ice I don't think is in the game until, I think, 1.8 or 9? Maybe 1.10, but it's further along regardless. And we could just do an ice boat road, but I need to figure out how I want to do turns and stopping and stuff like that, or if I want to do some sort of stop point or some sort of checkpoint. I really don't know, but I'll be messing around with that when it comes. I have a design idea, which basically would just be keeping this but putting rails on the side, or iron bars. And that should work okay. Like I say, it's just a matter of, due to the fact that you can go pretty freaking fast when it comes to ice boat roads, you can speed right by your deal. For example, like getting to the jungle treehouse here, if you're going too fast, you'll just whiz right by them. So I think the only thing I could think of would be to specifically put some way to run into an iron bar here, and that way you can stop, but otherwise you just stick to this side, and in theory it should go well, but we'll have to see. Either way, let's get to the witch farm and let's begin the fun, because there's a lot to do. And I really want to get those drops going. Oh, it's gonna be so nice to finally get into brewing and everything. Oh, I'm so excited. Easier experience, yes please. Now as you can see, I've done a little bit of work on the witch hut and trying to figure out the spawning area. And also, vines can be very annoying. So, it's a 128 block radius. So what I'm going to do, and I'm probably going to hate myself for doing this, is get 128 blocks in each direction, then make a big old circle. And then from there, either get rid of all the land within this circle, or just flood it. Although for me, I'll probably just get rid of it personally, because I'm sure I'll need dirt in the future for various projects, so never a bad idea to have more dirt. And thankfully, it's very easy math. 64 times 2 is 128. So, I just put 2 stacks in my bar and go out until they're finished. The only annoying thing is lily pads are strangely one of the more frustrating things about this, because when I'm doing this part of just going out and making the line, the hitbox, basically when a lily pad is right next to the block, it counts as essentially, from what I can tell, a full block or a half or a slab or whatever. So you just instantly fall off and hit the lily pad, which then screws up the count. And I think I got that direction correct. Per my math, it seems to be right, but We'll find out when I tear my hair out trying to do the circle. Now, surprisingly, there isn't a whole lot to the witch hut spawning. It's literally within this where the porch is out front, and that's about it within that area. And then the height is just above the roof, I believe. Either way, it's not a huge deal. I think you only get about 3 platforms, I think. So that'll be the next deal after I get these laid out, to at least get a rough idea of how many we'll roughly get. Now, originally I was thinking that I might be able to use the glass elevator trick to get items pumped back up to me while I, say, have an AFK spot higher up. But I don't think that would work because, well, there are no there's no hoppers to catch the items and then put them into a dropper and then have them go into the glass elevator. So I have to stand at the bottom, which isn't the end of the world, and that was kind of my original thought from the get-go. However, I was really hoping to be able to use that. But in 1.5, we can. So that's something to look forward to. And you might also see that I have not completely gotten rid of all the clay in the area. I'm going to be doing that a bit later. Ooh, hello. And I did go on a bit of a caving expedition to try to light up some caves in the area. But it's kind of hard to know exactly what's within the area since you're underground. Which is where Mini HUD would come in handy quite a bit. So this would be our final floor. So it would be right there. Here, let's get stone bricks. Just so I can actually see the difference rather than all cobble. So 1, 2. So it would be 4 floors. Maybe. This one I'm on the fence about. But either way, I'll put it there, and worst case scenario, we get a few extra mobs that aren't witches. Which isn't the end of the world. Now, the fun part of, well, building it. The platforms won't be hard, but I need to grab redstone and stuff, so I will bring you back when I have more of that knocked out and figured out, because this part won't be that exciting, I don't believe. So I've done a little work so far, nothing too groundbreaking. I'm not sure if I want to get the, mechanics and stuff like that built up for the farm, or just start clearing. So what I did is I extended all of these all the way out to their 128 end. I feel like that might have been overkill, but oh well. So next up is to, well, either light up all the land or just get rid of it. I could flood it, but honestly, I know I'm going to need dirt in the future, so I kind of just want to take all of it, and I can always go for more sand. But I need to make a square. Need to make a box around this, so that way I can make sure all the water is gone from the area. And I can, without fear, work on, well, the underground section when the time comes. I'm not sure exactly how far I want to go. Probably, I mean, I'd rather have too much room than not enough and have to, be annoyed. So I think we'll do maybe to, this tree. Well, let's say right here. I will be the first to say that this is fairly absurd to go this big of a box for what's going to amount to a very small killing area. But in my experience, is either go big or go home, and I'm already at home, so I basically have to go big. I don't make the rules. Except for in this world. I do make the rules. But also, again, I would rather just have more room than not enough. Alright. And now the filling in of this. And also filling in all this water, which is going to be so much fun. All right, so I'm going to get to work clearing a lot of area. I'll probably have to go and get some enchants done at the Blaze Farm, because, well, that'll definitely help. And like I said, end of the day, having more of these blocks, which I have plans for. I'd rather have too many than not enough, and I am a glutton for having too many items. So, let the digging and everything like that begin. Alright, so it has been a minute, and I've been a busy bee. So, I marked out a 128 square, but, well, around this. So, in theory, if I stand further down, because the idea is to have the fall damage, and currently there is no way to have, well, that I know of, to have the items go up, outside of putting them in a dispenser and having them shoot through the glass. But to put them in a dispenser, you kind of need to have hoppers, which we do not have access to at the moment. So, the thing we are going to be doing is, one, I decided I want to flood this area. So, a smart person would do it to where you just take a bucket of water and flood the top here. But I'm going to make it harder on myself, because that's just something I really love doing. And part of me thinks it'll be... No, I just enjoy making it harder on myself, I guess. So, I've already flattened out every area inside the perimeter outside of this little island right here. So I'm going to flatten that out, and we're going to have a big old lake, or mini ocean, or however you want to put it, in here. Now, I might change my mind and go for just flooding the area with buckets of water, but I have a lot of dirt. And honestly, I want to use the dirt. I have a lot of dirt and a lot of cobble and everything, so I just kind of want to do it like that. It doesn't really make sense, but that's just how I roll, I guess. So, all I need to do over in this area is I need to finish off this mountain this side. I've gone through so many picks, I've enchanted them, and I am desperate for mending, which I don't think comes in until like 1.8, so that's a future me look forward to. So I need to finish out this area right here with that little patch of grass, take care of that tree, and then flatten this area. And then I'm going to lay all of the grass underneath the water. Well, on top of whatever. On top of the water. Make this a big old thing and then flood it. Now, in the future, I can also use this area to, farm other things, I guess, as well. So, it's a possibility. But I wanted to get this area all removed of water, because the water was, pretty sure, yeah, it was all around it. So, the next thing on the plan, which I need to go and get dispensers because, well, I don't have any bows here. And I do have a skelly farm that I can go and grab some. It's just going to take a little bit of crafting. So this, in theory, is the box for the witch farm. In theory. Now, one issue that I'm having is that, well, at night, when stuff is spawning, well, there's too much spawning out here. So I think what I would need to do is actually just close the box off and try to get something to spawn inside it during the day just to test it out. Because in theory, it should work just fine. Is the hope. But either way, redstone-wise, we need either A, pistons holding back water sources and then them releasing and letting them go, or dispensers on the edge here, well, right there, right here, and then the, those dispensing the water, and then the winches being pushed right on down to their inevitable demise. So it's going to be a 1x1. So all we're going to do is just have one of these sides have just a very, very, very long drop. And then from there, it's going to be, well, I just stand there and wait. Now, the only problem is that caves, I don't know how much those are really going to affect the witch hut. I'm assuming they're going to affect quite a bit. So it's going to be a lot of caving and trying to figure out where. There is a cave entrance over there that I was working on, and it's going to be interesting. So that is the game plan right now, but I need to go and get dispensers or just get pistons, but either, well, if I do pistons, I don't have to go all the way back and get the dispensers, because, well, it's a trip. So how are... we haven't used dispensers, so I think we'll go with dispensers this time. I only need 21 if I'm going to go all the way across from here. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 times 3 is 21. So I just need 21 of the dispensers. So I just need 21 bows. So I'm going to go grab those, and then we will... So I'm going to go grab those, and then we will hopefully get a witch farm started. That's the hope. So I want to show a little bit of the placing of the dirt, but also the exploring of the cave. Now, the dirt is going to be very monotonous and boring to watch, so not a whole lot of showing that. You'll see the end result later on, either in this episode or in the next episode, when I'm able to knock out the entire thing and get it flooded. However, I'm not even sure if I'll have enough dirt here, and I have so much dirt here. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be funny in the future when they update the ocean, and so then you have drought and stuff going around. I'm not sure if I'll have to go through and like light up the area in the water as well to make sure rates stay decent. But as well as that, normally what I would do is I would switch into spectator mode and just like jump between spectator and survival to find dark areas in the cave. Can't really do that. And so just running around aimlessly placing torches is the way to go. Now I happen to find a massive ravine, and it's like 2 mine shafts interconnected, and it's a whole thing. So I have no idea how many tunnels are down there, how many things are around, but I found a bunch of cave spider spawners, and all of that sort of fun. So literally right below the witch farm, there's like 2 spider spawners right next to each other. So in the future, I can definitely make something for them. I have a couple ideas. Right now, I'm not too concerned with it, because everything I'll get from the witches is actually going to be everything I'm really going to need for other stuff at the moment. Now, there's so many plans I have in my head for future stuff. I have to try to contain all the ideas. But with this, I'm hoping that it'll be decent. I did see 1 witch spawn, which was enough for me to just full bore go for this. And the rest I've only seen skeletons spawn. Now the issue that I'm having is the simple fact that there's a lot of places for mobs to spawn, so it's not focused on the witch hut, which I'll have to spend probably a day or 2 running through the caves, just lighting areas up and seeing what happens. But the flooding of the area will definitely help. I mean, it'll just definitely help. And yeah, so that is basically the game plan right now. And we'll hop back into the world and do a show. We'll do a show and tell of what I've got so far, and then next episode I'm hoping to have the dirt finished so we can actually start diving into brewing and all of that fun, because I've actually really been wanting to mess around with different things in brewing. And then we can work on the giant church we're going to build, which I'm really interested to see how I can finagle something into some sort of church. I have no idea. So it's going to be interesting, but ooh, we could build a church around the witch farm. That could be interesting. Huh. Ideas. So either way, yeah, let's hop back into the world and I'll show you where we're at. Yes, witches. Oh, finally. Okay. So now that that's working, yeah, I got a few more things to do, but it's working. I can do some AFKing after I close up the area a bit, and it'll be great. So I opted for the more difficult way of doing everything, and I am slowly covering all of this with dirt/grass, which is going great. Very slow, but it's going actually really well. I only have this section. I say only, but I've already done all of this. So, and I'm actually out of dirt here. So I have a lot of dirt back at the base where we were digging out the chunks. So currently, my only hope is that these lovely mounds can finish off this entire area, which won't happen. So I'm going to need to take whatever I can from the area back at the base and just make a lot of runs back and forth. But thankfully, I have re-enchanted some shovels. I'm hoping that these will just make it through these sections, because, oh, regular iron shovels are tough. And I don't know, there's probably going to be some stone underneath here that I need to get through, but I made plenty of pickaxes, so I'm really hoping that'll be it. But I think that will do it for today. Next episode, we are going to probably work on some brewing, because I'm hoping to have this entire thing covered and flooded by then. And after that, I'll do some AFKing and but get the needed ingredients to mess around with brewing and whatnot. Now I am thinking of changing one thing, and that's to do a minor cheaty cheat of the rules I previously established. So with hoppers being in the next update, thankfully, originally my goal was to complete the nether tunnel essentially in every way. I have portals to where I can walk across it and be fine. Now, due to how much smelting and stuff I have to do, I think to save my sanity, I'll finish up the challenges of building the church and whatnot, but I may, after we finish that, just upgrade to 1.5. That way I can save what's left of my sanity and actually have some sort of automation for the smelting, because I have so many bricks to smelt and so many just everything to finish off the tunnel that it'll just take a year and a day for me to smelt all of that to hit that goal. So I think that's what I'll probably do after after we finish up the one shovel down. After we finish up the challenges of the church, I think it's just finishing the church. I think that's the only challenge that we have left. That's another thing in the older updates. When a tool breaks, sometimes it'll like ghost break, and I don't know why. And so you have to like double check that it's actually broken. One good thing about doing all this in the swamp is that I've got a bunch of lily pads, so I have no doubt that I can use those somewhere, somehow. But I think that is going to do it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks for checking it out. And please do take care of yourself. And the next time you see this area, it's going to be flooded. And there would have been a lot of dirt placed. So, all right, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for checking it out.